My phone screen lit up at 2:08 a.m., its brightness cutting through the pitch black of my bedroom like a spotlight. I'd been lying awake for over an hour, restless, listening to the rain tapping on the windows like impatient fingers. It wasn't a storm, just that steady, eerie drizzle that makes everything feel a little more empty, a little more exposed. The alert tone that blared through my speaker was the same one they use for tornado warnings or amber alerts. But this one didn't feel the same. I reached for the phone on my nightstand, still half blind from the screen glow, and squinted at the message. Emergency alert. Do not engage with individuals outside. Stay indoors. Lock all doors and windows immediately. Incident in progress. That was it. No explanation, no location, just cold instructions, like we were supposed to already know what was going on. I sat up slowly, listening. Nothing out of the ordinary, not at first. Just the rain. I thought maybe it was some mistake. Maybe something happened on the far side of town. Maybe a gas leak or a prison break. But then I checked the group chat. Riley, did you guys get that? Ava, yes. What the hell is going on? Miles, don't go outside. I'm not kidding. I just saw something. My neighbor, I don't know what I just saw. My chest got tight. Miles wasn't the type to scare easily. He lived one block over, and we all grew up in this neighborhood. I trusted his gut more than I trusted that vague-ass alert. I pulled my curtains shut out of instinct, didn't even look. Just reached up and yanked the drawstring until the blackout fabric sealed the room in. Me, Lena. What did you see? Miles. What happened? The typing dots popped up, then stopped, then popped up again. But he didn't answer. Instead, another alert hit, louder this time, like it was meant to shake you awake. Emergency. Alert. Updated directive. Do not answer the door. Do not respond to voices outside, even if you recognize them. I reread it 3 times, even if you recognize them. What does that even mean? Ava. Guys, there's someone at my door. They're knocking. Riley. Don't open it. Ava, don't move. Turn off your lights. Me. Ava, do not open it. I don't care if it's a neighbor. Ignore it. Ava. It's saying my name. I stared at my screen, hoping she was kidding, waiting for a JK or some sign it was a sick joke, but there was nothing. Just those horrible gray bubbles that came and went. Then her typing stopped. I held my breath, listening. Still nothing. But the silence started to feel wrong. My building is old. You usually hear pipes shifting or a neighbor moving upstairs, but now it was just dead air. I checked the locks. Deadbolt. Chain. Both clicked in tight. My apartment's on the 2nd floor, but that didn't feel safe anymore. The next alert came in almost immediately. Emergency alert. Audio warning reports of imitation behavior. Stay quiet. Do not trust familiar voices calling from outside. Imitation behavior? I didn't know what they meant, but the knot in my stomach told me I didn't want to find out. Something was happening out there. Something nobody was ready for. And then came the knock. 3 soft knocks. I jumped. Not loud, not aggressive, just intentional, like someone was giving me time to think about it. Then came the voice. Lena? It was Riley, or it sounded like Riley, just her voice muffled through the door. Lena, it's me. It's Riley. Let me in. I backed away from the door, slowly, carefully. I knew Riley didn't live anywhere near my building. She was 2 streets over. What was she doing here? Another knock, slightly louder. Come on, Lena. I just need to talk. Please. It sounded like her, but it felt wrong. Too calm. Too clean. Like someone had practiced it. I picked up my phone and texted the group. Me. Riley. Are you outside my apartment? A few seconds later, her reply came. Riley. No. I'm in my room. Why? And then, Riley. Wait. Are you hearing my voice? I didn't answer. I was already backing into the kitchen, trying not to make a sound. My bare feet stuck slightly to the linoleum. My phone buzzed again, but I didn't check. I couldn't stop looking at the front door. The voice came again, but it cracked this time. Just barely. Lena, please, let me in. My legs nearly gave out. It was like hearing a recording fall apart mid-play, like static had taken over the end of my best friend's voice. That was not Riley. I stayed absolutely still. No sound, no breath, just silence and the wet ticking of the rain outside. Ava still hadn't texted back. Miles, don't answer it. Don't talk. Don't even look at it. I think that's what it wants. He was right. He had to be right. But what was it? Riley. Ava's not answering. Me. She said it was saying her name. Miles. Same here. They're doing that to everyone. It's not them. I took a step back and bumped the counter. My phone slipped and clattered to the floor. The knock came again, this time harder, more urgent. I dove for the phone and crawled away, back toward the hallway. That's when I heard it whisper. Not from the door, from the kitchen window. Lena! I didn't scream. I couldn't. My voice felt buried in my chest. My mouth was dry as sand. I crouched below the sill, heart pounding like it wanted out of my ribcage. It was here. Whatever this was, it wasn't knocking randomly. It knew who I was, and it wanted me to let it in. I stayed there on the kitchen floor for at least 5 minutes, maybe longer. I didn't move, didn't breathe too loud, just kept my eyes locked on the space beneath the window, waiting for a shadow to fall across the floor. But nothing came. No more knocking, no more voice, only the rain, still tapping, still steady. But now it sounded sharper, like each drop was cutting into the glass instead of bouncing off it. I finally got the courage to crawl back to the hallway, dragging myself like a soldier in a war movie. My phone was still in my hand, buzzing occasionally with new messages from Riley and Miles. Ava's name stayed grayed out. I checked the peephole before I passed the front door. Empty. The hallway outside my apartment was still and quiet, just the faded yellow light from the overhead bulb flickering every few seconds. I wasn't sure what was worse, seeing something or not seeing anything at all. Riley. Something just walked past my window. I live on the 3rd floor. There's no fire escape. Miles. Mine too. They're moving higher. That didn't make sense. What the hell were they? I wanted to believe it was a prank or some mass hallucination or a shared nightmare. But those alerts, those cold, clinical warnings, they were real. Someone in authority knew something, and whatever it was, they were telling us to shut up and stay inside. Me. What are we supposed to do? Riley. We wait. Miles. Don't open the door for anyone. Don't look out your windows. Don't talk back. Suddenly, my building's intercom buzzed. The sound was shrill and ugly, echoing through my quiet apartment like a scream in a church. I'd never heard it used at night. Never heard it used at all, really. I crept toward it, my skin crawling. My instincts screamed at me to ignore it, but I had to know. Then a voice came through the speaker, weak, choppy. Please, let me in. It's cold. It wasn't a voice I recognized. Then it changed. Lena, it whispered. It's me. It was my mom's voice. There was no way she was downstairs. Still, the voice came again. I forgot my key, sweetie. Open the door. I backed away like the speaker itself had grown teeth. My mom would never say that. Not like that. Her voice was calm and loving. Not this cheap imitation. They were copying people. Voices, names, mannerisms. But not perfectly, like someone trying to wear skin that didn't fit them right. Another alert hit. Emergency alert. Final warning. Do not engage. Stay silent. Survival depends on your obedience. The words were burnt into my brain. Final warning. Survival. This wasn't a storm. This wasn't a gas leak. This was a siege. My lights flickered, then went out completely. Total blackness swallowed the room. No hum from the fridge, no glow from the TV and standby. Nothing. Except my phone. Battery at 38%. I switched it to low power mode and turned the screen down. I couldn't waste it. Riley. Power's out. All across the block. Miles. Same. I think they did it on purpose. Me. I think they're already inside some buildings. Riley. Ava? No response. Still nothing. Then I saw a new message pop into the chat. Not from any of us. Just a number. No name, no profile picture. Unknown. Let us in. The typing dots appeared again, then vanished. I blocked the number immediately. I didn't care who it was. That was the last thing I needed. Somewhere down the hallway I heard a door creak, then footsteps. Slow. Dragging. Someone was walking in my building. I dropped to the floor again, pressing my ear against the hardwood. The steps were getting closer, not hurried, not searching, just steady, like they were doing rounds. I texted the group again. Me. They're inside. Riley. Stay quiet. Hide if you can. Miles. Bathroom. No windows. Close the door. Sit in the tub. I didn't question them. I moved. The bathroom was small, barely big enough to stand in, but it had no outside windows. I closed the door gently, clicked the lock, then lowered myself into the tub and curled up with my phone pressed to my chest. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would give me away. The walls were thin. Every sound felt magnified. Then I heard the footsteps again, outside the bathroom now, right outside. They stopped. Then I heard breathing, ragged, wet, like someone was trying to mimic how a human breathes but didn't quite understand how lungs worked. Then came the voice again. Lena? But this time it wasn't a whisper. It was behind the bathroom door. Why are you hiding? It said in a playful, mock-sad tone. I thought we were friends. I didn't answer. I didn't move. It knocked once, gently. I'm lonely, it said, like it was pouting. I squeezed my eyes shut, tears finally coming. This wasn't happening. It couldn't be happening. Then silence, no more voice. I waited. 5 minutes, 10. Then, from somewhere in the building, a scream. Not just any scream, Ava's, short, cut off, and then nothing but the rain. I stayed in that bathtub until my legs went numb. Every sound outside the bathroom door made me flinch. I kept picturing that thing, whatever it was, standing right there, inches away from me, mimicking people I loved, just waiting, listening, smiling. My phone buzzed again. I nearly dropped it. Miles. Ava's gone. Me. You heard it too? Riley. Yeah, that was her. Miles. We can't help her. If they've got her... He didn't finish. He didn't need to. A sick knot twisted in my stomach. Ava was the loudest, the most confident. If they got to her that fast, what chance did the rest of us have? My building was silent again. No more footsteps, no more voices, just the sound of water dripping from the bathroom faucet. One slow, rhythmic plunk after another. It was like time had stopped moving outside that door. I couldn't stay in the bathroom forever. Eventually they'd figure it out. Or maybe they already had. Maybe they were just waiting me out. I needed to think. The intercom buzzed again. My head snapped toward the bathroom door. I could hear the static hiss even from here. Then, Lena, Ava's okay. I froze. She's with us now. She's safe. You can be safe too. It was Ava's voice. But not really. Something was wrong. It was too smooth, too soft, like someone trying to sound reassuring by mimicking a YouTube meditation coach. She wants you to come out. She says it's better this way. I covered my ears. This wasn't Ava. It was never Ava. It was the same thing that faked my mom's voice. It knew I'd care. It knew what names would break me down. They were inside now. They weren't just copying us, and they were learning what made us weak. Then came another emergency alert. But this one was different. The screen didn't show the standard government black and white bar. Instead, it flickered, glitched, like it wasn't meant to come through. Emergency alert. System breach detected. They are listening. They are inside. Do not trust any transmission. Devices may be compromised. Do not use speakers. Wait for 0600. I stared at the message, heart racing. Wait for 0600? That was 6 in the morning, 4 hours from now. How was I supposed to survive 4 more hours? Riley, did you see the new alert? Me, yeah. What does it mean? Compromised? Miles, they're using our tech, phones, intercoms, speakers. That's how they get in. That's how they mimic. That explained the voices, but it also meant me. Are we compromised? No reply. Then a text came in from Riley's number, but it didn't feel right. No profile picture, no read receipt. Riley, it's better if you open the door. I didn't respond. Then my phone buzzed again. Riley, the real one this time, texted from a different app, an encrypted backup we'd used once in high school. Riley, that wasn't me. Me, I know. Riley, we need to go dark. Don't use your phone unless you have to. They're reading us, watching. Me, what do we do? Riley, turn everything off. Stay quiet. Don't look out the window. Don't trust any voice, not even ours. I stared at the glowing screen for a moment longer. Then, with trembling hands, I powered it down. Instant darkness. The silence after that was deafening. No screen, no alerts. Just me, the dark, and whatever waited beyond the bathroom. That's when the smell hit, like burnt hair and rotten meat. It seeped in under the door, thick and acidic. I covered my nose with my sleeve, but it didn't help. They were close. Inside the apartment. I held my breath. I could hear soft, shuffling footsteps now, moving from room to room. Slow. Purposeful. Like they were taking their time. One stopped just outside the bathroom. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Then I heard scratching, not like nails on the door. Worse, like bones or something dry and sharp dragging along the wood. They didn't try to break in. They just scratched, over and over again. And then they laughed. It was faint, barely above a whisper, but it chilled my blood. The laugh didn't belong to any one voice. It was a layered chorus, male, female, childlike, all warped together. Then it stopped. Silence. I waited for what felt like an eternity. Eventually, I opened the bathroom door, inch by inch. The smell had faded. The apartment was undisturbed, except my front door was wide open, no sound, no movement, just open. And something had been dragged in. A trail of water and black sludge smeared across my floor, leading from the hallway into the living room. No footsteps, just that one trail. I picked up a knife from the kitchen counter with shaking hands and followed it slowly. When I turned the corner, I saw it. A phone. Ava's phone. Lying in the center of the living room. It was cracked. Still damp. Still buzzing. A message was on the screen. "You're next." The message glowed on Ava's shattered phone. Just 2 words. "You're next." I stared at it, the room spinning, my breath ragged. It was like staring into a loaded gun, silent, still, but full of violent promise. I backed away slowly, every instinct screaming at me to run. But where would I go? Outside wasn't safe. The hallway felt like a mouth waiting to swallow me whole, and inside wasn't much better. Whatever dragged her phone in here might still be in the walls. I picked up the phone anyway. It was warm, sticky, Something black clung to the edges, thick and reeking like moldy copper. The screen glitched when I touched it. The message disappeared, replaced by static and a shrill, high-pitched whine that made my ears ring. I dropped it. From the hallway, I heard footsteps again, more than one pair, slow, shuffling. I rushed to the door and slammed it shut, bolted it, then pushed my dresser in front of it. I didn't care how much noise I made. If they were already coming, I wasn't going to die with the door wide open. I ducked under the window. Something brushed past the glass a moment later. Not a knock, a scrape, like a hand sliding along the outside. Then a voice. "Lena," a whisper barely audible. "It's okay now. We got them all. Miles, Riley, everyone's safe now." I pressed my hands over my ears. "Just open the door, you'll see." It kept repeating, over and over. The same voice, the same sentence, like a broken toy. I grabbed a pen and paper from my desk and started writing down everything I could remember. If I didn't make it out, someone had to know what happened here. Maybe someone could stop it next time. That's when I saw movement on my bedroom wall, a shadow, but it wasn't mine. It moved slowly, gliding across the surface like it was alive. It had a shape, a humanoid shape, but off. Its limbs stretched unnaturally, the head tilted too far sideways like it didn't understand how a body should be built. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. If I looked, I thought my mind would break. I wrote faster, ignoring the whisper still repeating from outside the window. "Just open the door, you'll see." I heard a tap behind me. Then another, like someone was slowly drumming their fingers on the window glass. I finally turned, just a little, and saw the shape of a face behind the curtain. Pale, too pale, with huge black eyes and a wide, crooked smile stretching too far across its face. I dropped the pen. I wanted to scream, to vomit, to run. Instead, I backed away, hands trembling. Then the emergency alert buzzed again, this time from my tablet across the room. The screen lit up instantly. But the alert didn't come through the system UI. It came through the camera feed. Emergency alert. Stay indoors. Do not look outside. Do not respond to familiar voices. Do not open doors under any circumstances. They see through your screens. And at the bottom, 0600 is the extraction point. If you are still alive, wait. That was it. Wait. Don't open anything. Don't answer. Don't trust. Not even voices I recognized. Then the screen started to crack. Slowly, like something was pressing against it from inside the glass. I turned the tablet face down and slid it under the mattress. No more screens. No more voices. Just me and whatever was outside. I checked the time. 2:18 a.m., almost 4 hours left. I texted Miles and Riley from the backup device again. "Me. Still here. You?" No reply. I tried again. Nothing. Then a knock. 3 slow knocks from inside the closet. My stomach dropped. That closet had been shut since yesterday. Another knock. Then, "Lena, it's me. You've got to let me out." My mouth went dry. I couldn't move. "They locked me in here. You can help me." He was calm, too calm, like he wasn't even trying to sound desperate. Then I remembered Miles didn't live near me. He wasn't even in my building. Whoever, or whatever, and was inside that closet wasn't Miles. The door handle started to rattle, not violently, rhythmically, like it was trying to remember how doors worked. I grabbed the dresser mirror and angled it toward the closet without turning around. In the reflection, I saw the knob twist, slowly. Then, I saw fingers, long, thin, like twigs dipped in oil. They pushed out from the crack in the closet, curling along the edge. I bolted from the room, slamming the door shut behind me. I didn't stop. I ran to the kitchen, heart pounding in my chest, and ducked into the pantry, closing the door behind me. I stayed there, breath shallow, in complete darkness. Scraping sounds echoed from the bedroom. Something dragged itself across the floor. I could hear it, slow, deliberate. It knew I was still inside. I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream. But I stayed silent, because I knew that if I made a sound, it would find me. And I wasn't ready to die yet. I don't know how long I stayed in the pantry. It could have been 20 minutes. It could have been an hour. The only sound was my own breathing, shallow, tight, like I was trying to breathe through a straw. My muscles were cramping from crouching so long, but I didn't move. I didn't dare. Every once in a while, I'd hear something from the living room, a chair scraping, glass crunching, footsteps. But they weren't regular footsteps. They sounded wrong, like someone dragging something heavy behind them, or like joints bending in ways they weren't supposed to. I clutched a can of soup like it could save my life. My hands were numb. Then the alert came back, not through a screen, through the air. My radio, the old one buried in the pantry, crackled to life. Emergency broadcast in effect. This message is for any remaining residents of Hollow Creek County still alive inside residences. Do not respond to knocks. Do not believe voices you recognize. Do not trust anything that speaks to you. I stared at the radio like it had grown teeth. If you've received this, your area is compromised. An extraction team is en route, but visual distortions are active. Remain inside. Remain unseen. Do not answer until sunrise. Estimated extraction, 0600 hours. Then silence, static, gone. I collapsed onto the floor. I wanted to scream, to cry, to tear my skin off just to feel something other than dread. But I didn't make a sound. Instead, I waited until my phone buzzed again. A message from Riley. Riley, where are you? We made it to the gym. It's safe here, come now. My heart jumped. But then I noticed something. The message was too perfect. Riley didn't type like that. No typos, no sarcasm, no abbreviations. She always used too many emojis. This was flat, robotic. I didn't reply. Instead, I typed to Miles. Me. What color is the gym mat we used during freshman year? The one you threw up on. A beat, then a reply. Miles. Blue. Nope. Wrong answer. It was orange. We made fun of him for a year. Whatever was sending these messages wasn't them. I powered the device off. Suddenly, I heard a loud slam from upstairs. My bedroom door. Then the unmistakable sound of footsteps. But this time, running. It sprinted through the hallway. Then silence. Then the handle of the pantry twitched. It had heard me. It knew. I backed deeper into the pantry, clutching the shelf behind me. Dust filled my throat. The air was thick and warm, like someone was breathing beside me. Then something brushed against my shoulder. I froze. Slowly, I turned my head. Nothing. But the air shifted. Something was inside the pantry with me. The door handle started to turn. I shoved my back against the shelves, praying they'd hold. Then, bang! The door shook. Once, twice, bang! Something slammed into it, snarling, not like a beast, but like a bad imitation of one, like something trying to mimic rage. Then, silence. My breathing was ragged. Another alert buzzed on the emergency radio again. Emergency. Override signal. Extraction compromised. Visual threats spreading. Repeating. Visual threats spreading. Avoid all reflections. Avoid all glass. Do not look at your own reflection. My eyes widened. I turned to the metal shelf beside me, shiny, almost mirror-like. My reflection looked back, except it didn't move the same way I did. I froze, watched it closely. It blinked before I did. It smiled. I ripped the jacket off the shelf and threw it over the metal. My hands were shaking. My reflection shouldn't smile without me. I couldn't stay here anymore. The pantry was turning into a death trap. I shoved the door open. Nothing outside. The hallway was dark, but still. My bedroom door was wide open now. No sign of the thing that slammed it. I crept toward the living room. Every step felt like it echoed. I passed by a mirror near the front door and threw my blanket over it too. I wasn't taking any chances. The emergency radio kept crackling softly from the pantry. I couldn't understand the words anymore. Just, they're inside. Not everyone is human anymore. Trust your instincts. You are not alone. The clock said 5:12 a.m., 48 more minutes. I could survive that, right? Right? Then I heard it again. A knock at the front door. 3 slow taps. Lena, Riley's voice. We're here. I stepped back from the door. Open up. We saw the alert. We're real. The alert said not to open doors. Not for anyone. I backed into the kitchen. Then a whisper from behind me. Smart girl. I turned, and standing in the kitchen doorway was me. Smiling, but not right. My jaw was too wide, my eyes too still, and her hands dripping. She cocked her head, watching me. Almost time. I ran. I sprinted for the basement stairs. My legs didn't feel like they belonged to me anymore. Numb, jelly-like, barely obeying my brain. But I didn't stop. Behind me, I heard the thing that looked like me laughing, not a human laugh, not even close. Like it was trying to copy one it had heard but didn't understand what it meant. I made it to the basement and slammed the door shut behind me. No lock. I shoved a toolbox in front of it, then wedged a broom handle through the doorknob bracket. It would have to hold. Downstairs was pitch black. I didn't care. I crawled behind the water heater and curled up in a ball, hands over my mouth to stop myself from sobbing out loud. The air was stale and freezing. Every few seconds, the pipes creaked above me. Normal sounds, safe sounds. I clung to them like a child to a nightlight. 5:17 a.m. Come on, just 43 more minutes. Then I heard footsteps. On the basement stairs, slow, measured, wet. I didn't move. Then a voice just above the door. Lena, we're here to help. I didn't respond. The imposters are gone. We cleared them. It's safe now. Another voice joined in. Miles, but too calm. Please open the door. The real threat's over. You're safe. They used the word safe too many times. Riley would have cracked a joke. Miles would have said, yo, first. I stayed quiet. The doorknob jiggled. We know you're down there. Then silence. And then something slid through the cracks of the door. Thin, like smoke. But wrong. The air hissed. The smell of rust and rot filled the room. I watched in horror as the smoke-like shape took form at the foot of the stairs. It was wearing my face again. But this time, it wasn't smiling. This time, it looked furious. Why won't you let us in? I didn't answer. I pressed my back into the wall and shut my eyes. My heart thudded against my ribs like it was trying to break out. I kept thinking of the alert. Do not look. Do not engage. Do not trust. I heard it moving closer. Each step was a wet slap. My eyes stayed shut. It stopped a few feet from me. I could feel it crouch down beside me. Its breath was sour and metallic. You'll never leave this house. I didn't move. They're not coming. It leaned closer. You're already dead. You just haven't accepted it. The floor beneath me vibrated. The pipes above howled. The air crackled. Then, without warning, boom! A flash of white light filled the basement. Screeching. The thing decomposed, like light was ripping it apart. The emergency broadcast returned, echoing through every pipe and wall. Evac alert. Extraction is now active. Visual threats disrupted. Survivors must evacuate immediately. Repeat, evacuate immediately. When I opened my eyes, the basement was empty. No thing, no shadow, no smoke. I scrambled upstairs, nearly breaking the broom handle as I shoved the door open. Outside, a blinding spotlight pierced the darkness. A chopper. I ran to the front door and flung it open. A soldier, or something like one, in hazmat armor waved me forward. "Don't look back. Don't answer any voices. Run!" I didn't need to be told twice. I bolted. The sky was still dark, but the neighborhood looked different, not destroyed, just frozen. Cars stuck in place, trees unmoving, like the world was paused. Behind me, my house groaned. As I reached the street, I saw other survivors, maybe 6 of them. Riley was there, the real one. She was sobbing. Miles, too, his arm in a sling, dirt smeared across his face. "You made it!" Riley cried, grabbing me. I nearly collapsed. We didn't speak. We didn't need to. The relief in her voice told me everything. These were the real ones. They ushered us toward a truck. Inside, everything was white, sterile, humming. A screen blinked on. A man in a lab coat appeared. "You've survived an unauthorized breach of Dimension B6. You are safe now." A long pause. "Do not speak about what you saw. Do not revisit this location. Your memories will begin to stabilize within 48 hours. I wanted to scream, ask questions, yell that this couldn't be real, but I didn't. I just nodded. The doors shut. The engine roared. We were leaving Hollow Creek behind. 7:12 a.m. My phone powered on by itself. No service. Just a single notification. Emergency alert. You escaped, but others won't. Then the screen went black.